say
yo 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 yo.
Jess Hilarious.
Good morning.
Charlamagne the God.
Peace to the planet. It's Friday. Good morning. How y'all feel out there? I feel blessed, black, and highly favored. Happy to be here. Another day to serve our beautiful listeners. What's happening?
Yes, good morning. It's a Friday, damn it. What up, Jess?
What's up, yo?
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
You sober?
Yeah, you look a lot better than yesterday.
Absolutely, yes. Listen, I want y'all to know, sometimes it's gonna be like that.
I'm not mad at you.
And I still got my ass up. I came to work. Like,
it be like that. We
can be like that. And I was just saying, people was a little sensitive about how I was.
They was?
Yesterday.
Listen, sometimes people come to work to sleep. It's perfectly okay.
Yeah. Damn right. Yup. And that, look, I don't know how many more years of radio I got ahead of me, but that ain't gonna be the last time y'all see me like that.
It's all good.
Oh, no, that'll stop. It'll slow down. Trust me.
It'll slow down, but I'm just saying.
we used to do the same thing. By the way, I'm not even gonna say it'll slow down. It'll completely stop.
Yeah. I believe it. Oh, yeah. I believe y'all used to be way worse than I was yesterday.
Cocaine?
No, don't say that. There was no cocaine. No, no, stop that.
Okay, maybe.
No,
speaking for myself. I don't want to speak for the collective.
Yeah, we used to wild out though.
But the good thing is,
positive.
I did get rest. I did get fun. And then yesterday, I got, after my nap, I went to the Governor House festival reception, and I was invited by the Governor and First Lady Moore. So,
Governor of Maryland, Wes Moore.
Yes, Governor
Your cousin.
of Maryland. Yes, absolutely. So shout out to my cousin, Wes Moore.
Did you steal anything from the governor's house?
Beautiful wife, First Lady Dawn Moore. What?
Did you steal anything from the governor's house?
No, because everything is too heavy.
Oh my goodness!
So
you thought about it though.
Your voice lightened up a little bit than yesterday too. Yesterday
I know.
It was super deep.
I still ain't get it. I know. I still ain't get it back 100%. But yeah, I think I'm at like a 40.
Cause yesterday you was like, yo, I love Magic City.
Crazy. I sounded like a husband yesterday. I loved it.
Have y'all watched Forever on Netflix yet?
No, you keep talking about it. I didn't get to it yet.
Yo, they was talking about it at the festival reception last night at
really?
Wes Moore's, at Dawn Moore's First Lady Dawn Moore's dinner. Yes.
You know, it's one of my favorite storytellers of all time, Judy Blume. It is a reimagining of Judy Blume's book Forever by another one of my favorite storytellers, the creator of Girlfriends, Mara Brock Akil. So it is fantastic. You know, it's a great show when after you watch the last episode, you hate one of the characters. And I do not like Justin at this moment.
But that's the best though, because the acting, the plot, the story is probably so good.
Yes,
like, they can make you hate them like that.
Yes, right. Absolutely.
If you could put a genre on it, what would you classify it as?
Romantic drama, maybe. Yeah, romantic drama, maybe.
All right, we'll get into it.
Well, young adult romantic drama. Yeah.
Let's get the show cracking. The cast of The Wire will be joining us this morning. It's the 23rd anniversary of The Wire.
That's right. Trey Chaney will be here. J.D. Williams, Hassan Johnson, and Anwan Glover.
Man, I picked the wrong day to be zooted. Then I was supposed to have been messed up today for The Wire.
You want to do heroin? Damn.
No,
what you talking about?
And we celebrating two young entrepreneurs, Olajuwon, Ajanaku.
That sounds right. And Earl
Olajuwon.
From Eastside Golf.
That's right. They'll be joining us this morning. Some brothers that's doing it big in golf, all right? And we got front page news next, and Mimi's actually here in person.
Mimi is in studio.
What's going on?
Oh, hey, girl.
Yeah, hey, Jess.
Hey.
We'll get to that when we come back, so don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news and some quick sports. Last night, the NBA playoffs are amazing. I mean, these are going to the wire. The Nuggets beat OKC last night, 119-107. They tied the series 3-3, so there will be a Game 7, and my Knicks play tonight.
Yeah, that's anybody's game. Game 7 with the Nuggets and OKC. You can't play with the Nuggets. They're former champions, man. Anytime that goddamn big-ass joker on the court,
that's right.
You can't play with them.
That's right. And you can't play with Boston tonight because even though Tatum is out, they still got a strong team and a long bench. Pause. Morning, baby.
Good morning, y'all. All right, so let's get into this front page news. A judge in Wisconsin is pleading not guilty to helping a man evade immigration authorities. Now, Judge Hannah Dugan, she was in court yesterday. She was indicted on 2 counts of obstructing a federal agency and concealing an undocumented immigrant who had a criminal hearing in her courtroom. Now, Dugan was arrested by the FBI back in April. A federal grand jury indicted her earlier this week, and her trial is set to begin on July 21st. Now, according to the FBI, the man she was allegedly trying to help was previously deported in 2013, but he re-entered the U.S. illegally and was later accused of battery. Immigration officials had planned to arrest him after his court hearing, but agents say someone took photos of the arrest team and showed it to the judge while she was in court. And when that hearing ended, witnesses say the judge told the man to follow her and led him and his attorney out of the courtroom through a private door to avoid agents. Now, the man was later spotted in the courtroom. He ran from agents, but he was caught outside after a brief foot chase. Now, Dugan's attorney...
Where do you think he was going?
They were surrounded. He wasn't going to get far. Dugan's attorney said she's innocent and she was acting within her role as a judge. Her legal team is trying to get the case dismissed, arguing she has immunity and the arrest violates the Constitution.
Did they have a relationship? Like, was that like her landscaper or something? Her boyfriend?
Up,
she just felt like a good Samaritan? Like, what was it?
I think it was just she wanted to be a good Samaritan.
But you can't do that, right? You can't know that they're going to pick him up and then say, sneak out the back door, because if it would have been anybody else, they'd have got locked up. But
this sets a precedent, because when do you arrest a sitting judge in her courtroom? So that's what everybody's up in arms about, is that she's been arrested by the FBI. And so if she's convicted, she's facing 2 charges, 1 felony, 1 misdemeanor, and that is up to 6 years in prison.
That is interesting, because I'm just sitting there trying to think, what was her plan? Like, where was she trying to get this individual to go? And was she would abusing her power be the right word? Meaning that she knows she's the judge, that she probably was thinking they're not going to arrest me if I stand in the way.
She probably think she was going to get caught. She said, go out the back door. Yeah. How'd he go? I just let him out this way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just took him through a private exit. Okay, so... And then I know you guys have been covering the Newark air traffic controller situation. Yeah. And so there is a second air traffic control facility in the U.S. that experienced about a 90-second communications outage this week. It happened on Monday at the Denver Air Route Traffic Control Center, which manages airspace over Colorado and nearby states. Now, during this outage, as many as 20 pilots over the Denver airspace could not talk to air traffic controllers. Frank McIntosh, he is the Deputy Chief Operating Officer for the FAA. He testified yesterday at the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee that one of the controllers' main radio frequencies failed. Then they switched to a backup, and that one failed too for nearly 2 minutes. He was grilled by Rep. Hank Johnson about the shortage of air traffic controllers, and let's listen to that exchange.
How many air traffic controllers have left the system since January 20th of 2025?
I'm not aware of how many have retired.
You don't know, but so could it have been 100?
It could have been 1. It could have been 1,000.
Could have been 5,000.
No.
Maybe 2,500.
No.
2,000.
I don't believe so, sir. I track how many air traffic controllers are in the system.
Well, tell us how many have left their jobs since January 20th.
I can't tell you that exact number, sir, but I would be happy to come back.
All right, so that exchange took place, and that's after a news station in Denver, Denver 7, investigates. They're reporting that the outage lasted 6 minutes and not the 90 seconds that the FAA is reporting. But 6 minutes, 2 minutes without...
That's scary.
It's too much.
There's not enough sense of urgency around this situation for me. Like, either close Newark Airport down for the time being, or...
That was Denver.
That was
Denver.
That was Denver.
Oh, because I saw that happen in Newark the other day, too.
Yeah, that happened in Newark the other day.
Yeah.
That happened in Denver. It's just scary. You're flying, but I wonder if this happened before and now we're just hearing about it more and more and more, or is this totally new?
Why aren't the airlines raising hell? Because then when something bad happens with one of the airlines, they're going to get the blame. So why aren't they raising hell?
They're sued. Absolutely.
And they're also going to lose money, though. So it's all about money at the end of the day. So anyway,
and
there's
then
about
those people with jobs at those airports.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
That too. So.
All right. Well, that's front page news. We'll see you next hour, Mimi.
All right.
And everybody else, get it off your chest. Before that, I also want to tell everybody that engineers have been gone on strike this morning at NJ Transit. It's halting the nation's third largest commuter line. So if you live in New York and you're trying to get to New Jersey to go to work, or you live in New Jersey and you try to get into New York, there is a strike. Give yourself extra time. You might need to work virtual today. They're saying it's going to be nasty and a mess. They're saying it's going to inconvenience about 100,000 people plus. So just want to give people the updates with that. All right, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. This is your time to get it off your chest.
Keep calling.
800-585-1051. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Yo, this Jay from Houston.
Jay from H-Town. What's up? Get it off your
Dre.
chest, Jay.
You said Dre, right? Or Jay?
Jay, I think.
Nah, J-A-Y.
What's up, Jay?
Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, man. Hey, first I want to say, Envy, man. I don't care what Charlamagne say about the beige raid. Every time I met you in Houston at your car show, you've been good with me, man. You take care of everybody I'm with. You always talking. You know what I'm saying? I want to get that out there first.
That's because you think you cute.
Yo, shut up, man. I'm good with everybody. I appreciate you, bro.
Hey, man, I don't know. I'm married with a wife and kids, man.
I'm married with a wife and kids. I don't know what you talking about. You crazy.
Nah, for real. Shout out to Jess, too. She there and everything.
I'm here. What's up? Thank you.
Oh, what's up, Jess? Now, I called because my little brother graduated from ACC today with his associate's degree.
Nice.
He hasn't even got his high school diploma yet. He get his high school diploma in 2 weeks.
Congratulations,
Congrats.
brother.
Yeah, man, he go to Willow Ridge High School. His name Cameron Smith. So I just want to shout him out, tell him I love him, I'm proud of him, and, you know, hey, the sky not even the limit for him. What God gonna take him.
That's right.
Well, have a good weekend,
That's all I
Jay.
want to call and get on my chest. Hey, y'all too, man. Have a good one.
All right, celebrate that brother, that young man.
Hey, you said what you say?
I said celebrate that young man. Take him out this weekend. Do
Oh,
something fun with
man,
him.
he get whatever he want, man.
There you go.
All right, you say that till he want to fan him.
Nah, well, yeah, I don't have a family.
Have a good one, brother. Hello, who's this?
Hey, what up, Envy? This is Smooth Jazz from the Port City, man. What's good?
Smooth Jazz, what's up?
What
Get it
up,
off your
Charlamagne?
chest.
Peace, Smooth Jazz.
Jess. How y'all doing?
What's up?
Good.
Hey, so look, I got this coworker, right? He's 38, but my man's a virgin. Black dude. I'm just trying to figure out how to help my man, you know, open up to women. You feel me?
First of all, you don't have to help him. He's 38 years old and he's doing exactly what the Bible told him to do. Okay, we the sinners. Let that man be a virgin and you know, have sex when he get married like you're supposed to.
Well, it ain't that he don't want to. You feel me? He just got a problem talking to women. You know what I mean? He just having that. He from a small town out here in North Carolina, so he don't really got nobody around him. He live with his mom. I mean, like, bro, just kind of a little ditchy, but I be trying to help him out.
Try to take him to like a speed dating event where like he gotta talk to people. Like he can't do it on the phone. He gotta. Is he socially awkward? He gotta.
What he look like?
He said he's 25, right?
Okay.
38.
You know, he's 38.
He grew up on social media.
He's black and Puerto Rican, but he don't really know too much about his Puerto Rican side. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna tell all his business, but I mean, he ain't a bad looking dude. You feel me? But he looks distant. You know, he kind of a little slow at times.
So why don't you take him out?
Yeah.
Why don't you take him out with you?
I done tried to. Bro don't want to come to the port, man. He don't want to come to town. I mean, Port City out here in Wilmington, North Carolina is a little ruthless and shit. So, you know, he a little scared.
You don't even know if you like girls for real. You might want him a Papi Chulo.
I was gonna say that too. He might be looking at the wrong one.
We asked him that too. He keeps saying he ain't gay. I mean, we get on him all the time at work, yo. Like, we bag on him all the time, yo. And they be trying to put him on the girls at the store, but he's scary, man. I don't know what to do with it for him, man.
It's all
trying to
good.
help little brother.
When he really want to do that, he gonna do
Because
that.
of his age, but I told him my experience, my guy. I got way more experience. You can't try to little boy me.
Yeah,
I think you should leave him alone.
Yeah, just let him live, man. If he say he wants to date girls, he's trying to find a girl, take him out, and you might have to, kick it to a bunch of girls and bring him over, invite him over. But other than that, leave him alone, man. Let him figure it out on his own, because he might like men, but just don't want to tell y'all.
Even the slow niggas they know how to do it. When they really want it, they gonna go get it.
Yeah, 'cause that's how Justin is. Justin is socially awkward. You know what I'm saying? Justin is socially awkward till he meet Keisha. And, when he meet Keisha, him and Keisha got a connection from elementary school, so that him and Keisha just, end up vibing and they become a couple.
That sound like a Drake verse. Who the hell
That's
is
a TV
Keisha?
show forever. I'm sorry. That's the show
right.
forever on Netflix.
Shout out to the Port City, Wilmington, North Carolina. Everybody in the 9 down, stand up, wake up. It's the Breakfast Club. I love y'all. Let's move that.
Thank you, brother.
You too.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, you can hit us up. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Ray.
Yo, Charlamagne, Envy, what up? Are we live?
This is your time to get it off your chest.
I got an indoor pool, an outdoor pool.
We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
We can get on the phone right now. He'll tell you what it is.
We live? Hello, who's this?
CJ from Florence, South Carolina.
CJ from
Florence,
South
what's
Carolina.
happening, Flow Town?
What's going on, Charlamagne, Envy, Jess Hilarious,
What's up, baby?
Mimi?
What's going on?
Yes, hey, Jess, thanks for the show last year for my wife's birthday. This time in Charlotte.
No problem.
Birthday.
No problem.
Yeah, what a great show. I hope, Charlamagne, I'm keeping you out of HR.
Ooh, Jess don't need no help being in HR.
She do all
Shut
this.
up.
Ah, man.
Shut up.
Hey, I want to give my wife a shout out for her birthday Tuesday for getting her master's this year in business administration.
Congratulations, brother. Tell her congratulations.
My beautiful wife, Nicole Jones, and thanks for taking my call today.
No problem.
All right, brother.
Thank you, man. Have a good one, brother. Have a good one, brother.
Hey, I'm going to be at the car show also. Envy.
That's right. Well, I'll see you there, brother. You bringing a car, or you just coming to just enjoy and chill?
Bring a few bikes here, and I got some Harleys with some big tires.
All right, well, come on, bring the bikes. Can't wait to see you.
All right, y'all be blessed.
All right. And don't forget, my car show is July 19th in the 757. That's Hampton, Virginia, which is a hop, skip, and a jump from North Carolina or the DMV or Richmond. So if you're coming on up or you want to bring a car, it's email me your car, djmbcarshow@gmail.com. Kids 5 and under free. It's a family fun event. Can't wait to see you guys.
Yo, you can bring mountain bikes too?
No, he meant motorcycles. What he said, bikes, like Harley Davidson.
Okay. All right.
What do you think you're going to bring up? His mountain bike and have a mountain bike section?
That's too much, yo. Bikes is crazy.
Motorcycles,
you talking about motorbikes. Okay.
Yes, motorcycle. Hello, who's this?
Yo, this is D. Jones from Philly.
What's up, brother?
D. Jones from Philly. What's happening?
Hey, Charlamagne. Look, this is what I want to get off my chest.
What the hell is Charlamagne?
Charlamagne, man.
Charlamagne.
Oh, okay.
Charlamagne. Listen, right? It's a hypocrisy, or however you say it, right? With the Central Park 5 and Tory Lanez. Because when the guy that confessed, he said he did the stuff to the jogger. What's the difference of introducing his new testimony and the bodyguards? You said the bodyguard, he should have said that during the trial.
Oh, it's a huge difference because you actually have the person who committed the crime confessing. Now, if the girl Kelsey came out and said, "Hey, I committed the crime," then it would be an equivalence. This what you're doing is a false equivalence.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Right. I agree with that. So what about when you said, well, he's been judged by a jury of his peers, so it should be retried. That's like Trump saying the same thing. Like they've been judged by a jury of their peers. Why would we go at it again?
I'm saying that based off the due process and all the evidence that was presented, the simple question I asked was, if Tory Lanez and his attorneys knew all of that evidence was against Tory, why wouldn't he simply say, hey, Kelsey shot Meg, and why would Meg, what reason would Meg have to say Kelsey didn't shoot her? I mean, that Kelsey shot.
Because, it's about girl feminists and girl power.
I don't believe that.
Hey, yo, but I love all of y'all, man. Loren, she's doing a good job with the trial. Jess is beautiful, man. I love y'all. Peace, man. Y'all stay up.
Yes, sir.
Have a good one, brother. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051.
By the way, we are the only society that will ignore evidence just for he said, she said. It's the weirdest thing to me.
I was wondering how the bodyguard thing wouldn't be hearsay.
That's what I'm saying.
Because he's overhearing a conversation and we can't even clarify. I've been asking some people, they ain't answering me yet, but
that's all it is. The bodyguard said he overheard her say these things. So as he said, she said.
Hearsay?
But you ignore all the evidence that was in court that took years and weeks to process but you can believe the bodyguard?
You can still use that as evidence, but the court is over. So you'd have to go through so many procedures to even get back to that position, appellate courts and all that. People think he's gonna be out tomorrow.
You're right, but do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand exactly what you're saying.
People will ignore evidence that took years and weeks of due process that people actually investigated and jurors took time to go through. But one bodyguard says, "Well, I heard," and now that's who y'all. That's soap that y'all believe that.
Because these social media detectives are breaking it down for people, and people believe it. There's no facts. This is what they believe in, and they be talking like they know facts. It happens all day long on this thing.
And I wasn't there, so I mean, listen, I don't know what happened. I'm just simply saying, why would you ignore the courts and all the evidence as opposed to? Why would you believe this one bodyguard who just overheard something?
I agree. You just need facts. And speaking of facts, you was at the trial yesterday.
Yeah, and a lot of facts are getting misconstrued or something because the prosecution had Cassie looking crazy yesterday.
I called you yesterday.
I think so. I didn't get your phone call.
I thought that was the defense yesterday.
It was the defense that she was speaking to, but I feel like the prosecution did not. They didn't. I don't know. For that to be the star witness, they ain't set her up the right way.
They didn't prep her.
They didn't. It was like there was things that she.
You come back.
Oh yeah, we'll come back and there's a lot, y'all.
I have one question for you.
Did he overdose?
I want to know, could Cassie be charged? Because the way that they breaking this down, it seems like she was part of the.
What you mean? Seems like.
She was for
yesterday.
sure.
She was G-Money to Diddy's Nino.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like.
Okay, so it wasn't here we was talking about it because I said that. I said I feel like if she wasn't testifying for them, she would be sitting right where Puff is at right now.
But let's talk about it when we come back.
Damn.
Just we got the latest of Loren when we come back. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. 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 The Bre
DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now we're about to get to the young lady who yesterday was wearing high heels, stepped over people, was videotaping and asking questions all at the goddamn same time.
Cool Bay.
Let's get to the latest with Loren.
Loren becoming a straight fat.
She gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
She gets the details.
I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything.
She be having the latest on this.
The latest with LoRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
Well, it's the latest.
On the Breakfast Club.
Talk to me.
So yesterday in court was Cassie's first day of cross-examination. So that's where Puff's team gets to ask her questions about her testimony and just different things that they want the jury to be to hear.
Right.
I don't know what the prosecutors are doing. They did such a good job the day before of laying out, what they had and establishing why their charges make sense, even though I don't think that it's as like gut-wrenching as they've made it seem from all the indictments and stuff like that. But y'all, the way that Cassie was looking on that thing yesterday, first of all, they debunked so many different things, just speaking to her credibility, right? Like not getting into like the forest and all that yet, right? Just speaking to her credibility. Y'all know on the stand the day before she told that story about Suge Knight and Puff and D-Rock allegedly grabbing guns and going to run into Suge Knight at Mel's Diner. Right. And he left from a freak off to do that, according to her, right? So according to the defense team and the interview that Cassie did with the prosecutors before she got on the stand, like in the beginning of the investigations, that story was completely not true that she said on the stand the day before that. So
how did they debunk that?
So they basically asked her, they said, hey, you remember yesterday you testified that you stayed in your home and you were upset and that Puff had allegedly left from a freak off and blah, blah, blah. Like they went down what she said. Right. Then she was like, yeah. And they said, well, do you remember, and they ran down the date that you spoke to the prosecutors and you told them that you were forced to get into a car. You were crying, you were upset, but you didn't have a choice according to you, right? Like you were like basically forced to get in this car to go with them to run into Suge Knight. And she was like, I never said that. And they said, oh, okay, well, we have the transcripts from your interview with the prosecutors right here. She looks at it. She pauses for a moment. She said, I don't know why this would say that because I've always said that I didn't go. And I'm like, but it's an interview you did with prosecutors, so it looks crazy. And there was so many moments like that where
that's why you shouldn't try to remember nothing when you was on drugs.
Right.
When you're trying to recall things when you're on drugs? No.
Now, let me talk about that because I thought about that too. Like, she said a lot yesterday and the day before that about how much they were using drugs. So some things may be a little hazy for her. She couldn't even remember some of the escorts and names that they knew that she had slept with, right? So
who remembers escorts' names?
No, she remembered a lot of them. Because they were using they were using a lot of them for a long period of time and taking them to different states. But drug use. So there was a time in 2017 where things were like super, super hazy, right? And she on the stand said, I really don't remember much from this time because there was something else that they were talking to her about and it was just all over the place and she wasn't sounding like she was telling the truth. So they're talking to her about the drug use, and the day before, remember I told you guys, they were asking her about the drug use and asking her how she would resupply on drugs, like who gave her the drug dealer's contacts and stuff like that, and she said Diddy. And when she said that, I watched Diddy in court look at her like, girl, what? Yesterday on the stand, they said, okay, so let's talk about your drug use, right? Because is it or is it not true that, both of you guys were using drugs, but Diddy was still able to run multiple businesses and ran down a list of everything he was doing. He was more functioning. And she was like, yeah, I mean, you could say that. And then they go into having a conversation about the fact that at one point in time, Puff was calling drug dealers and telling them to stop serving Cassie because she was so bad off. Like she was worse off on drugs than he was. And Cassie admitted that was happening. The day before that, though, they painted it as if she was lost in this whole drug abuse thing that was caused and spiraled out by Puff. Yesterday, the conversation was, no, you were making choices on your own, to the point where he was even having to intervene with some of her friends because he didn't like how much drugs she was doing. He was trying to protect the way that they were doing. They were doing their things, right? But he was trying to make sure that it was, from what they're alleging, that it was a lot more safe. And she didn't push back on it.
I thought they were saying. I thought Diddy's team was saying that Diddy was also on drugs really bad, and they were trying to say that's why he didn't remember putting hands on her.
But even said he OD'd.
Yes. So look, they never, and this is why I'm saying the prosecution left their star witness out there looking crazy, because Diddy's team has never ran from any of that. They have talked about his drug use. Yesterday, it did come up in court that he overdosed at this around the time that Whitney Houston passed away, right?
Was he rushed to the hospital when he overdosed?
Yeah, they said they took him to the hospital. It was like a whole thing. They didn't go into a lot of detail about it, and I have been trying to get more information on that, because for a lot of us in the courtroom, we were like, wait, what? How did this happen? How did he overdose? And the world never knew. But that's how bad their drug use was. But he was always able to like keep himself together and not like fall off, and able to like try and like go through like withdrawals and stuff to get off of it. She was having a bit of a harder time from what it seemed like, to the point where he was encouraging her to go to rehab, and she admitted she did go to like a wellness spa and things of that nature. But I think the reason why I brought that up is because Puff's team did try and use that as a defense, right? And she tried to do that as well. But the way that everything is coming out now is really seeming like, okay, what we saw happen to her in that video, and the other things that I know happened to her because we've seen photos of the bruises and things like that, right, is not okay. But the way that they were able to almost humanize, like, okay, he had a lot of drugs in him too. If we're going to give her a pass for, being drugged up and, not being able to make her own decisions, we should have that conversation about him too, is what they were able to accomplish yesterday.
A lot.
Yeah, and they used her to do it.
This is what I was telling you, Loren. You got 8 weeks. You're going to go crazy, because every day when the prosecution is on, the prosecution is going to say things that make sense. When the defense is on, the defense team is going to make things that make sense. You're going to be playing hopscotch like, oh my.
Charlotte, look at this.
You got 8 weeks.
I am like, if I was a juror, I would be so stressed out.
You should really do a book and documentary after this, because you're there every day. Next question I was going to ask, could Cassie be charged? Will they charge Cassie? Because from what you're telling us, it was like...
Baby girl was the number 2.
No, she was number 2, and she was setting up...
I told y'all that yesterday. Yesterday I said she was G-Money and Diddy's Nino Brown.
The freak-offs, and she allegedly supplied some of the drugs. That's what it seems like they're saying. So could she be charged as well?
I had asked some questions about that yesterday to a source who told me that they had heard that there were some conversations about immunity, which would only make sense. But they can't 100% confirm it. But I'll have that by Monday.
I got so many questions. You gotta go.
Yeah, we gotta go. We can come bring it back.
Did he blow up Kid Cudi's car? What happened with Michael B. Jordan? Tell us.
Child, we got some more for the next hour.
Jesus.
Because some people call some strays. What, Jess? What happened?
Janet Jackson birthday though, so. Happy birthday to the legend.
Yeah,
but
Janet don't want you mentioning her right now.
Not right now.
Like, yo, you can mention me anytime.
In a minute
you don't
from
have
now,
to
but
mention me right now. So close to this story.
Yeah, just a little
you didn't have to do that.
Oh my! Who's that on your shirt?
Jess, wait, back up. Let me see your shirt.
Who's that on your shirt?
That looked like victim number 7. That looked like the drug supplier. That's who was supplying Diddy.
Yo, this is
the
picture. This is the picture that Snoop posted.
What's that on your head?
Huh?
What's that on your head?
On my head?
Yeah, what's that?
Oh, it's my ponytail.
I know
it's my ponytail back then. I've come a long way.
I want that in a large. You better have that in here next week.
I need one too.
I need one too. Don't clip my ends. Jess Hilarious.
All right. Now, when we come back, Mimi will be joining us. We got front page news, so don't go anywhere. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake up. You're locked into The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get back in some front page news. Again, the Nuggets beat the OKC at 119-107. They tied the series 3-3. And yes, my Knicks played tonight, so hopefully we can finish off these Celtics at home. What's up, Mimi?
What's up, y'all? All right, so let's jump back into this. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the man tapped by Trump and House Republicans to lead the country's top public health agencies. He testified before Congress this week, and he made one thing clear, that he doesn't think Americans should take medical advice from him. At a House Appropriations Committee hearing earlier this week, Kennedy was there to explain why he wants to slash the budgets for major health agencies like the CDC, the NIH, and the FDA. But things took a turn when lawmakers asked him a simple question about vaccines, whether he would vaccinate his own kids against measles. Let's listen to what he had to say.
For measles, probably for measles, what I would say is my opinions about vaccines are irrelevant. I don't want to seem like I'm being evasive.
Yeah.
But I don't think people should be taking medical advice from me.
Right, no, I got that. And I'm not asking you to give them medical advice, but would you vaccinate your child for measles?
If I answer that question directly, that it will seem like I'm giving advice to other people, and I don't want to be doing that. I want people to make.
But that's kind of your jurisdiction, because CDC
I mean, that's an honest answer because he's not a doctor. Like, and you don't have to be a doctor to be the U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services.
No, you don't. But if somebody asks you a question, will you? They just want your opinion. Like somebody says, do you give your kids whatever? Yes.
Especially though, because he's telling other people to take vitamins,
right?
But he's getting his kids the vaccination,
right?
So there's that's what the big problem is.
So he never answered the question.
He never answered the question. He also dodged the question about whether or not he should, if you should give your kids like a chicken pox and all those other vaccines. So, but this is coming as the U.S. is facing the worst measles outbreak in years. And then he went on to claim that the CDC is doing better than any other country at handling it, which is very, very questionable. And so moving right along, so if you're a Walmart shopper, get ready. Prices on some everyday items are about to go up this month. The company says they are feeling the squeeze from the rising tariffs on imported goods like electronics, toys, strollers, and even some food items, and they cannot absorb all the extra costs. So they're going to pass that on to the consumer. The tariffs, they're, of course, part of Trump's trade policies, which products from countries like China, Costa Rica, and Peru. Now, even though some of the tariffs have been lowered, the remaining ones are still pushing up the cost of goods, and that means higher prices for you at the checkout. Now, Walmart says the biggest price change will hit late May and into June. So items, again, strollers, mattresses, toys, mostly made overseas, those will likely cost more. The retail giant said it's doing everything to keep prices low, especially on groceries. But the trade war is hitting the retail industry very, very hard. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Now, thank you, Mimi. Now, you also have a podcast that you're doing, correct?
Correct.
So Altadena with Love.
Now, break down this podcast and what made you want to do this podcast.
So, To Altadena with Love is like my love letter to the community of Altadena, which is right next to Pasadena. Most people have heard of Pasadena, but not a lot of people had heard of Altadena, which is literally right next to Pasadena. And the community of Altadena is was a historic black neighborhood that was burnt in the Eaton fire when, in January when California was on fire. I went there as a journalist just to cover the story. And when I got there, I realized the devastation of the area. And what I realized was everyone looked like me. And these were a lot of older black families that lived in multi-generational families that lost everything. And then when I started doing more research, I realized that this town existed because a lot of these families had moved there in the 1960s and 50s, and they were redlined there. And they lost not only just their homes, but their community. And when you talk to them, you find out that it was just more than it was more than a structure, right? It was a thriving everyday community that was no longer there. And everybody, no matter what though, when they lost everything, they were looking out for each other, right? They were not worried about like, how am I going to survive? They were like, you know what, we've got to take care of our elderly and we've got to make sure that this community comes back the way that it once was. So for me, I wanted to document that. I wanted to talk to all the people, as many as people that I could, to talk to them and find out what this community truly means and how we can share this information with the masses.
I wonder how recovery efforts are going. Like, is it slow because it was a black community? Like,
well, it's funny you say that because I did a bonus episode. So in episode 6, I talked to a council member, and he says it's funny because when Trump visited California during the wildfires, he went to go see Malibu and he went to go see the Palisades. He did not come to Altadena.
Damn.
And so, it's like the rhetoric behind Altadena was that it's a historic black neighborhood and somehow it was skipped over. He didn't come see it. But the recovery process is underway. But there's still a lot of insurance things and
insurance companies not covering. It's too expensive. People didn't have insurance, lapse insurance.
All
they didn't
of
have
those things.
Insurance that covers certain particular fire
and what you have to remember is, I spoke to someone in episode 2 whose house, he paid $33,000 for his house. His house is worth $2.1 million now. And so when you buy your house for that much, and when you need the insurance money, it doesn't cover that much. And so now you're stuck trying to figure out how to pay for that.
So they only want to give him $33,000. They don't want to give him what the house is actually worth.
They want to give him probably about $500,000, but the house was worth $2.1 million. Wow. So what do you do? But I just, in this series, I wanted to humanize this community. It was really just a labor of love. I wanted the world to understand what this community is going through. And I wanted the world to understand that Altadena is, it was California's first black community. People think South Central or Baldwin Hills, but it was California's first black middle-class neighborhood.
It's crazy when you see stuff like that. It makes you wonder, was it a coincidence? You know what I mean? Like when you see them, wipe out a whole community and then, want to build high rises and make it hard for the people who lived in that community to come back. You just wonder, was it a coincidence?
Right.
And it's funny you say that too, Charlotte, because in episode 3, we talk about the disparities of when the alarm systems went out. West Altadena was where the black people were redlined to. East Altadena is where the white people lived. Mm-hmm. When you look at the disparities, that neighborhood, West Altadena, they didn't get the notifications until 3:30 in the morning.
Wow.
But the east side, they got them at 7:30 p.m. in enough time.
Give them enough time to prepare to get their stuff out of there.
Wow. I talked to a lady who said at 4:45 a.m. she woke up walking through flames trying to get out of her home.
Wow.
And she said she could only muster up the strength because she didn't want her 87-year-old father to find her in the home, But the alarms, the systems didn't go off, and so there's a lot of investigation that still needs to go on.
Now, how can they hear more about your podcast and really dive into it?
Absolutely, you can go to toaltadenawithlove.com for more information. You can download it wherever you get your podcasts, and please just listen to it. I think it is storytelling at its finest. It's not in my words. Mm-hmm. These are the community. These are their stories. They're telling their stories. I introduce some, a little bit of educational impact before it, but then they come in and they tell you their stories in their own words of what happened. So it is, as I say, the art of storytelling. It takes you there. It brings you right into that moment, what they were feeling, how they remember their community, and what happened that night to them.
Wow. Mimi Brown, give me your Instagram and Twitter and all of that good stuff.
Yes, my Instagram, Mimi Brown TV at all socials.
All right. Thank you, Mimi, so much.
And listen, today's Friday, so it's the People's Donkey. 1-800-585-1051. If you want to give somebody donkey of the day, call up now. The floor is yours.
That's right. And also, the cast of The Wire will be joining us next. Poot, Bodie, Weebay, Slim Charles. We'll be talking to them next. It's the 23rd anniversary of The Wire, and we'll kick it with them in a little bit. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We got some special guests in the building.
Yes, indeed.
We got the cast of The Wire. Well, some of them, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
I'm going to say their stage names. You say their real names. All right. We got Poop.
Trey. Oh, Trey Chaney. I got to say, okay. Trey Chaney. Trey Chaney. JD Williams.
Okay.
Yes. Hassan Johnson. And Slim. On one. Oh, you wanted me to get that because you wanted me to mess it up. No. Big G. He was saying and one, but it's on one, right?
And one.
And one,
Big G. And one, Glover.
Welcome, fellas. How y'all feeling, man?
We good, baby. Thanks for having us,
y'all. 23 years, man.
Jordan number.
The Jordan year. Lord have mercy. What does that mean to y'all when y'all hear that?
It's crazy to me because I always tell people, see, this is the first time in a minute we've been together and be doing an interview. Mm-hmm. But I always say, when I get interviewed, I don't care what none of y'all say. We didn't know what we was doing. We were shooting that. All we was trying to see was whose call time was the next morning. So we could go out and get something to drink, hang out for the night.
Well, I was on a continuance from Oz, so I knew we had something special.
Okay,
I had picked that up.
Right,
I had picked that up already. Plus, it was the first time, like, I'm looking at people that's coming up that I was watching they work the same way they was watching my work.
Indeed.
When I did Oz, everybody was already kind of famous already. You know what I'm saying? But when we got here, that made us, and I saw that work coming down.
But see, the thing with me, nobody don't know, The Wire was my first job as an actor. So that was my first time I had ever auditioned for a role, first job. So just being around these guys, I'm like, yo, I remember asking JD a whole bunch of questions. Bro, what is a trailer? You know, what is what are they telling me to do? Like rehearsal, I'm like, all right, but you know, like I said, man, to be here 23 years later and still just getting to it. You know, everybody healthy, living and breathing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a
I'm glad people find it new every day. Somebody find the show every day, so it don't really age out.
The show more popular now, some years later than it was when it was on TV.
Yep.
Well, none of y'all knew it was going to be a cultural staple.
I definitely
I feel like it was.
You never tell me that. I ain't know that.
You from Baltimore, you damn right. It's definitely a cultural staple.
Yeah, but when you moving around anywhere in the world, though, they know you.
You know what I mean? Like somebody might just stop and say, man, run them lines real quick. They throw you and they quote your lines. You know what I mean? So it's like, but it's like the study part of it. Like when I first came on set, Trey would tell you, we was right there. We was in Trailer, and we was running lines. And Jess was like, what else you been on? I was like, this is my first time out.
Right.
He was like, first time out where? I say, first time on the block. He was like, on the block. So we was shooting in a funeral home in Baltimore. Broad daylight funeral home. And we was there. A lot of people don't know the 12 hours. 12 hours, hard days, right?
Turn around,
Turn around. So we out there, we busting it. And we ran the lines. We were out there. It was raining. We take breaks for lunch. It was just a family, and we still a family to the day.
Yeah, man.
Now, I want to start from the beginning, The Wire. So when y'all got the call to do The Wire, break that down when y'all first read the script, and how did y'all know that y'all wanted to do it?
So I initially auditioned for Weebay.
See, that's funny, because I
initially auditioned for Weebay's character. And I remember going in there with Pat Moran out there in Baltimore, and she like, yo, quote this monologue. So 2 weeks later, I get a call. She said, we got some bad and good news. She said, the bad news is you didn't get the character as Weebay, but you was cast for the character Poop. And I was only supposed to be in the first 2 episodes in the first season. And then, spoiler alert, you end up getting Poop all 5 seasons. Last man standing. You know what I'm saying? So I was just happy, getting that script. And throughout the years, throughout the seasons, it never said I was getting killed. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the thing with The Wire. You never knew who was getting off. They didn't tell you before. They would just, you get the script and you read. That's like when Snoop shot at me. You know what I'm saying? They like, Poop falls to the ground. He's bleeding. I'm like, okay, this is it. And then I woke up.
Take this into consideration, Trey, how you just said that. I don't know if y'all remember or not. The Wire almost ain't even take off. Because we auditioned before 9/11. 9/11 happened. It was shut down for 3 weeks. But the thing is, the callbacks was after they opened the city back up. Alexa Fogel office started calling us back. I forgot all about this. I ain't think nothing. So when I went in, I auditioned for D'Angelo.
Oh, wow. Shout out to Larry Gilliard, man. That's our brother.
See, down there it was open because Baltimore was open.
Yeah, we was turned up.
So actually, when I auditioned for Marlo Stanfield.
You auditioned
Jamie Hector.
Damn.
I auditioned for Marlo, and then when I got the call, they called me back. I was actually coming back from Houston with Steve Francis. And I got the call. Pat was like, hey, baby, you out. I said, I got good news. I got good news. And she was like, you just landed Slim Charles on HBO. And that was it.
That was movement.
Not character one, Slim Charles.
Alexa told me.
Character one, that ain't it.
She told me I was going to be Bodie. Like I said, I wanted to audition for D'Angelo because I was like, I just came from playing a tough guy for all these years. Like, y'all gonna make me worse than I was already? And then she was like, no, this your part, read this part, just go and do your job. I went in, came out, and they built on the character so much that I didn't know where it was gonna go. But I'm glad we did it.
Because in my audition, I think David Simon leaned over to Clark and said, Weebay. And I was so hot because I was tearing my up. I was in the zone. I'm like, who the is Weebay? I caught myself. I was like, yo, hold on. Relax. But you know when you in the room, that's your moment. You could go off.
Take it.
You could go off in there. You could go off as long as it's taken off. So they threw me off, but I caught it. But that's what they were saying. Like,
that's what it is.
He's that guy. You're this guy. You're that guy.
But you got to get in character though, because like that was my first audition. So when I read for Marlo, they was like, come in. You don't care about nothing hoodie. So I threw my hoodie on. I went in there and read for it. And I was like, it was like, what's your name? I said, Marlo. She said, what's your name? I said, Marlo. She said, I said, what part don't you understand?
Marlo. Yeah, I thought you was auditioning for Roots.
Like, we ain't messing with each other like that. You know
How
what I'm
much
saying?
of the script was improv, though? How much did y'all improv? Did y'all go off script? Because none of it seemed like...
Not a lot. See, I
really?
don't know.
We didn't have to really go
off script a lot. Improv. That's how ill it was. It was all on the paper.
They would let me get away. He would let me get away with a lot of stuff. But I would test it out first.
Right.
Like, I would use it on one take, and then if they don't like it, they just say, don't do that.
Yeah, they do.
But then most of the time they say, say that again or do that. So a lot of times I used to like, and that was because also with the dynamic that my crew had, we had this fill up kind of space. You know what I'm saying? We got Andre Royal, Bubs over here acting up. Then we got us having this communication. Then we got the young boys. So it was always something in there. But most of the time, like you said, especially because we had to figure out that be more dialect. A lot of times.
How was that?
That was hard. We ain't
I tried. Grand opening, grand closing.
We ain't doing it.
I'm saying so. It's kind of hard. It's hard for like New Yorkers like to get the accent. But see, I'm from DC, so it's like the chew, the dog. You know, you can get it too.
No, you
know
can't
what I mean?
stand like
But
a damn DJ.
Baltimore will pull your neck out if they know you faking it. You can't drag it too long with it. You just got to do it. Like see, like even with New York, like when I did the Deuce, I had to learn dialogue. You know what I mean? We shot that in Brooklyn. Then we went to Silver Cup in Queens.
Okay.
So I shot that whole show.
Right.
We was back there, we did it, and it's just like you got to sit outside in New York to smell the air, to know what a New Yorker go through, to feel it. You got to get into that character.
Method.
So it's like, bam, it's right here, we here. What's next?
I ain't want to get stuck with that accent.
I think that depends on the era of New York.
You got to turn it on and off.
Like super New York.
Like
New York.
We're still kicking it with the cast of The Wire. So what was it like filming in Baltimore?
It was fun.
No, that was fun.
Shout out to Baltimore.
Them scenes in
Man, look,
just
outside,
like Staten Island.
they got the
You ain't
food.
lying, Envy.
They got the food coming out. Meth was getting his hair braided outside. It was just like they open you up, but when you messing that money up, they'll let you know. Man, y'all got going to block, yo.
There was a couple wet outs on the set too.
Yeah,
right?
like really, then they was like really serious.
We had to shut down for a little 10 minutes, but David and them wasn't packing up though. They weren't sure.
What about? Hold up.
It sounded like it was a little quick rainstorm.
You be IG. What about the rats that eat all of our food?
Hold on, let me say this one time. The
rats would come out.
We was
night.
shooting that scene. We was shooting that scene.
They eat all our food up.
No, we was shooting the scene. It was like maybe 5 below out and be more.
Yeah.
And we took a break. It was me, Banger, Felicia, a couple of other people. And they ordered pizza.
Yeah.
Bro, they had like 10 pieces on it.
It was like the pizza that cold delivered to the door.
This big,
and
bro. Jumped up on the table, knocked the pizza down. Everybody broke. then they just came. This rat.
We was gone.
They jumped on the jump, knocked the whole boxes off, and then everybody just bumped Big Joint first. Big Ben. He jumped up and knocked everything down.
Big Ben.
And me and Mike seen with the shootout when I shot Mike, know when he shoot me?
Yeah.
There's a rat running across the in the background because I got scared to death. And I look back, so, but you can see it in the episode.
Them jokes like this and be more.
Looking like
this like dogs. Not puppies.
No, that's true.
Crazy.
No damn puppy.
Yeah.
Did y'all recognize the greatness in Idris back then? Did y'all see where it could go, or was something like
Yeah, because Idris was funny. I met him. Idris talking regular with a regular accent this whole time. And got on the phone with his daughter, mother.
Man.
I stopped. We walking down the block. He just started talking that chatting, started that London, and I stopped.
You like
we kept walking. He finally looked back like, what? I was like, where you from? You over here acting like you from the Bronx or something. He was practicing on us.
But
so I knew it right there. Like he wanted to.
One thing's it was a scene where we did with me and him sitting in the car. It's the scene where my character does this with my waist. And we was sitting in that car for a couple of hours and we was just talking. And I remember us getting to the point I was like, yo, because he wanted to have this magazine in the car that I ain't gonna get too deep about it. But they told him not to have it because of who was on it, right? So he was like, I'm going after this. Anyway, we're gonna leave that alone. So anyway, we in the car and I'm like, when you leave here, you gonna be that guy. Like he like, well, I think a couple of us gonna do it. I'm like, yeah, but like you kind of like right under Denzel looking. Like, looking like you about to go there. And he said, we'll see. But it was crazy because when it was time for his character to happen, he didn't want that. He did.
That morning,
he was mad as hell.
He was mad in the morning.
Because we filmed that whole morning.
Yo, right.
Remember?
Yeah.
We filmed that whole morning.
Yeah,
he came in the truck. They was like,
it was like
a cloud. It was like a cloud over our whole set.
He was mad.
When the stringer got killed off?
Yeah.
because he found out.
So he had no idea. He just found out that morning. He was pissed off.
Remember, you never found out until you got the script.
Oh, damn.
This was the one, yo. At the end, because look, we used to film, they do the tandems now. So they do these blocks where you can shoot 2 and 3 episodes in a week. We really shot the 2-week episodes. So we started on a Monday. And we wrapped the next week Thursday. And then it was a rehearsal Friday. And back at it on Monday. 13 times.
So if they're going to change something, they'll change it within that.
But the thing is, look, when we wrapped on an episode, your new script's in your trailer. The new script right in your trailer.
It's right there. Already
so look, everybody started catching on to doing this.
Yep.
I said,
I told you, stick their head out their trailer. You good? You going out tonight. Then somebody always was like this.
Tough, bro.
You know
whoever getting killed off that
they ain't opening that door.
Damn.
They ain't opening
It was like that. It was
when
really
you
like
had to off Michael B.
They'd be
Jordan.
like, oh, that's what you're
Mike was
calling
scared.
it. All right, we taking you out tonight. Drinks on up.
So how did Idris treat y'all afterwards? Did he like distance himself from y'all after that?
No. Well, he was gone. He was basically gone. He was still gone. You still can reach him, though. Everybody's always reachable, bro. We're a family.
That's real.
It's just like the plate just get kind of thick, and you got to work. Like, we always talk. You know what I mean? We talk. You know what I mean? Like,
Idris did the intro for my documentary, Undeniable, the Trey Chaney story, which all of us are part of. And reaching out to him, it wasn't hard to reach out to him. We all started together. You know,
he might be across the pond.
But him doing that, you know what I'm saying? It really was a good look for me.
And Michael B. Jordan was a young kid at the time.
Baby boy.
And
I was working with him and seeing his success.
Well, for me, I mean, him and JD always was together on set. Even my separate scenes that I had with Michael B. Jordan, it was, he was special. You know what I'm saying? You knew.
You seen that early?
Yeah.
I used to ride in the trailer with him and his
I had to
mom
smoke
and set. Because I ain't had too many scenes with him, but I used to kick it with his mother.
I love how family oriented he was.
Michael B, baby bro, Mom Duke, I love you. I don't know where you at. She the one got them together.
Mom's was
and it was good money because like he said, he had a lot of big brothers to watch out for him. And what he was doing, like the way. Me and him, like he used to come out with me all the time. She used to let him come out with me. I took him to Vegas. We went to Magic. All the little places.
Miami. He was one of the younger ones, right?
Miami. And so we was always around, but we all got together and he came up with the right mindset. And so he was like set up pretty good from going off.
Was.
But when we did the scene, we took him out.
To kill him.
He thought he wasn't gonna never work again.
He says that. He says that. Like, bro, I was sad. I was messed up. I ain't think I was gonna work again. He just said
that. That he felt at that time to he the man right now is crazy, right? Yeah, because he was messed up behind that.
He was only on one season, right?
He did one season.
Season 1. But he got on drugs and everything.
We smoked him in episode 12, right? Yeah, towards the end.
That was the first season?
Yeah.
And we sat up, he started crying. We hugged him up, right? We said, look, man, after this episode go off, they gonna be looking for your name in the credits. And nobody never gonna forget you. They always gonna be looking for you. Boom.
Do you think The Wire could be made today in like the same raw way, or would it have to be censored to death?
Nah, because it wasn't in HD, but literally speaking, raw. But that too.
Another city, maybe not the Wire, not Baltimore again. I think it would have to be a whole nother city.
I don't even think they'd let them be like they was. Nah,
like how we were.
It was too authentic. Like that.
And where do you start?
But they want to talk about spin-offs and reboots to The Wire. What's your opinion on that? Spin-offs or reboots or?
But that's when you had said something else, Charlamagne. Where would you start, Envy? Where would you pick it up at? Michael K not here, which I'm sure would be a real center stone. Rest in peace. Michael K, right? That's who you would definitely have to have, right?
Spin-off,
He's gone. Land's gone. There's so many people, right? But where would you start?
A lot of our brothers.
Even if you try to pick up off where it left off with Mack, right? With Tristan.
Right.
When he killed Snoop, he was supposed to be like
you could follow him or you could follow Marlo, wherever he gonna hide out at.
Yeah, because Marlo got out. I bought the connect at the end from Marlo. Went to visit him in jail. But it was crazy because the whole pod was when Prop Joe
Yeah.
You know, when Meth, when he did that and I killed
Cheese.
Meth, I killed Cheese, everything was flipping around because we had the co-op. We was sitting in. It was all us at first, Bodie, all us, we was together. And then everything just started spinning off. People just like going out.
Even my character, the character Arc, from going from the street.
You was at Foot Locker.
Yeah, I ended up working at Foot Locker.
So you never know,
manager at Foot Locker. So it's like the Cuddy character could come back.
I think you take somebody and move them to another city.
Yeah,
that's what you
city.
do.
Come to North, Brick City. We're still kicking it with the cast of The Wire. Now, I got to ask about this meme right here, Rebate. Do you hate this meme? Hey, yo, do you hate this meme?
I did used to hate it, right? Because nobody understood it.
Yeah, that's
nobody understood it. But then it started catching on, especially with the younger kids. I was like, oh, hold on, I gotta get my uncle on with the shorty. And I gotta explain, I gotta educate them to where that fucker. They'll be like, yo, that's you from the meme, but they don't know where it's from.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'll be like, oh, well, this is the dopest show in the world. Not because I was on it, but because it's dope.
Facts.
And then, you know, they go check it out.
They go check it out.
So it made it timeless. The meme just made everything timeless.
Yeah, man.
It don't get old. It don't get old.
No, it don't get old.
It don't.
They use it all the time.
I can't front.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask y'all, since y'all mentioned them, how did the loss of Michael K. Williams impact y'all?
Man, it was tough.
I was mad.
Hey, it crushed so.
Tough,
remember when I was on the balcony in L.A.? So I was.
Yeah.
They was talking. We was on the phone, FaceTime, talking JD, Trey, Mike, and I had just talked to Mike 2 days before that because he was like, some people was looking for me for a role. And he was like, bro, we down here. You gotta get down here.
Yeah.
Get out of that city. Come down. I was like, wow. Then he called me about another piece that they was trying to get me to work on with my band. Backyard DC. So after that, I talked to Trey and we was talking. And then I had just talked to him and Snoop. Then it hit. But that joint crushed me, man.
Yeah, it crushed me, man, because
that
was big,
Mike,
bro.
I always say, though, Michael K. Williams, he
wasn't.
wasn't.
Knew what they was doing.
Michael K. Williams wasn't an industry person for it. He was more so like, bro, how's your mom, dad, your wife, your kids? Like he was that. That was
trying
my
to say
with him, man. And talking to him weeks before that he passed, it was just like what?
Had nothing left
I hit his
hard.
hard.
You understand what I'm saying, Charlamagne?
Why you say they slimed him? What you mean?
Well, like the people that served him, they slimed him because they knew what they was doing. They knew who Mike was, and it was all out of bounds. And anybody with a heart, that's why when they did caught up with him, I didn't feel bad at all. Throw him under the jail.
Nah, I feel you,
I know
bro.
hustlers gotta feed their family, but y'all slime my bro.
I want to ask y'all, how hard was it to break out of your Wire characters when it came time to audition for other roles?
Man, I'm gonna tell y'all, man. The Wire ended in 2008. I didn't work again what they would consider mainstream into 2015 when I booked Saints and Sinners, which was a 6-season show, a job. But being, what they call typecast or whatever, all right, I'm going in the rooms with the casting directors, with the directors, producers, but with me not like booking certain jobs or whatever, I just started creating my own. You know what I'm saying? So when I started Cheney Vision Entertainment, my company, I'm partnering up with cats like Food with the Camera. Shout out to my brother. I'm producing my own films. Hidden Lies, Love and Larceny. I'm partnering up with people like Anthony Clark, Dana Freeman, and we just doing a whole bunch of like my own independent projects, which is really, what got me to the place of booking what they consider mainstream. We Own This City, BMF. Because I stood on the streets of Washington, D.C. from 2010 to 2015 selling all of my independent films out the trunk of my car. That was something that most celebrities wouldn't dare do. So it's people walking up like, man, you poop from The Wire. What you doing out here? I'm like, bruh.
I gotta get it.
The Wire was The Wire, and I learned a lot. But if we going to sit up here and consider myself a working actor, I'm out here. I'm out here taking it back to the street. I'm pumping my own website, CheneyWay.com, and then that led to my man George Pierre, who was casting for Saints and Sinners.
Shout out George.
Shout out George Pierre, man. Casting me for Saints and Sinners, the Keisha Cole biopic, BMF. Like that's our brother out there in Atlanta. But he called me one day like, yo, I heard what you're doing in the streets, man. Like you pumping your own merch and your own movies out the trunk of your car. And I'm like, yeah, man. I mean, but this is the way that I'm getting it. And I was like creating, like really developing my fan base. Because people seeing like a celebrity out on the street, just getting to it, it just helped me in so many ways. And now, Envy, it's a road that I need to manifest. Listen to this. 13 years in the projects, my mentality is what, kid? You talk a good one, but you don't want it.
Oh, you been saying
sometimes
that
I wonder.
You been saying you want to play Havoc for
sometimes that's what he want. That's his.
But it wasn't what you and JD gonna do Havoc in Project.
Well, no, Havoc gave me his blessing. Me and Havoc been talking for 2.5 years, and you know the press is running with it. TMZ and
that'll be
Rolling
good.
Stone.
Y'all got that.
And
Y'all kill it.
like right now, bro. Like
I definitely
like we've been talking, and my thing is this: like just studying everything, like because the project would have to be about what made them speak like this. Even if we all got an idea of why they recorded these records or why they were speaking like that, it has to be the backstory, the mindset of why these 19-year-old brothers were doing this.
Have you read Prodigy, My Infamous Life?
No, I'm glad.
That should be a movie.
Yeah, it should. I got a chance to have lunch and dinner with Prodigy a couple of times.
And I was in a whole bunch of Prodigy videos.
I know how Prodigy is, and I got a chance to kick it with him. He was a good dude, real good dude. So definitely put a lot of respect on that. But if that comes around, that comes around.
That's what I want to tell you. Like I say, man, I'm well prepared. But I'm gonna bring this into fruition, man.
That's why you gotta read My Infamous Life.
That book
tells you all of that.
We about to go right now.
You gotta get that.
That's the movie.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the movie.
That's Prodigy more Prodigy. Though.
I mean, it is, but you can't tell that. He don't tell his story without having it, of course.
Yeah.
My last question: what do people still misunderstand about The Wire, even after all these years?
Best television show ever.
No, that is not a black show. That's what I feel like.
Yeah, you know what? That's real.
That's what I think people.
Yes, that's
it's an American show. It's about America. And it just so happened we telling the stories of mostly black people, but it got layers. It's about how the street affects the police affect the politicians affect the street.
Education.
So that's what it's about. People look at education.
Corner show, but coming in, everything. That show taught you everything. The Wires taught you everything about what you need to know about life.
And then also, you ain't your brand, right? Is that your brand?
This is backyard. This is backyard for life.
Okay,
Backyard for life.
Go for life. We all got our stuff. We
I got shout out my wife. We had the Roots Picnic, the 31st, for June 1st. The Roots Picnic. And then we had the Cousins Festival with Pusha T.
I'll be there in June.
So we're gonna be down there too. So shout out to my backyard go family.
So y'all real quick, I want to shout out my wife Aisha Cheney. You know, I've been married for 20 years. She made this jacket. She's one of the biggest fashion designers in the world. iBody, when I walked in here, y'all see that y'all got the new fragrance. iBody. And it's only available on CheneyWay.com. I do direct to consumer
straight up.
So you come straight to me. But man, shout out to my wife Aisha, shout out to my son Malachi Cheney, who just finished his freshman year strong at Savannah State University. My daughter Martina and my granddaughter Morocco just turned 5.
You my grandfather?
When I met my wife 23 years ago, I met my 8-year-old daughter. Not only did I consider her, I made a vow to her mother. I never considered her my stepdaughter. So I raised her from the time she was,
amazing.
For the record, your son bigger than you too. Look, we was at the game. We was at the football game.
My son is not bigger than
I ain't seen him.
So
like,
I
ain't doing that. I said, hold up. He's sit down. He's bigger than his brain. I said, man, go ahead and sit down.
My son is about almost 6 feet, but I'm just proud, man. I'm proud to still be here, man, doing what we love and taking care of our families, man.
I'm about to say, what's the 3 of us as grandfathers?
Yeah.
Except you, he over there.
Mine just turned 17, though. Shout out, buddy. I love you.
Right here on my phone.
I ain't pop.
Yeah.
Nah, that's my pop. I love that, though, man. That's what life is about.
23 years. 23, baby. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you, man.
There you have it at the Breakfast Club. Good morning. All right, let's get to the latest with Loren.
Loren be coming with straight facts.
She gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
She gets the details.
I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything.
She be having the latest on you.
The latest with Loren LoRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
Well, it's the latest.
On the Breakfast Club.
Talk to me.
Yo.
Thank you, V.
Okay, thank you so much. She set me up. Yeah, she got
Loren left?
DJ Envy.
Yeah, yo. Moon la la. Yeah, yo. Better have my money. Y'all should know me well enough. Better have my money. Please don't call me on my blood.
gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
She gets the details.
I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything.
She be having the latest on this.
The latest with Loren LoRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
Well, it's the latest.
On the Breakfast Club.
Talk to me.
All right, so
fill us in.
A big part yesterday was them going through text messages, the defense attorneys, because they are fighting to prove that Cassie was a willing participant in the freak-offs, that there was no force, there was no coercion. So they going through these text messages. Basically, it was a ton of them. And she's in the text messages saying she's down for the freak-off. Also, she's in these text messages planning, how she said Puff was the ultimate choreographer of these things. She's giving very much Lorianne Gibson. She was choreographing her dang self in these text messages. So what they did was, which I thought was again brilliant, and it blew the prosecution's setup up. The day that Diddy and Cassie got into that fight at the Intercontinental Hotel, the video that CNN dropped, when the prosecution presented the narrative around it, okay, let's give y'all some background info, they only used 3 texts from the day of March 5th. The defense attorneys was let's go back to March 3rd. And let's lead you into where the prosecutors, y'all talked about text messages.
And that was 2017, right?
2016.
16. Okay.
Yes. So in the text messages, Cassie and Diddy are having a conversation days leading in, and they're sexting, and a lot of the explicit text messages they wouldn't read in court, so I don't know exactly what she was saying, but they were sexting a bit. She sent, I believe it was 4 or 5 sexual text messages. She's initiating that. Puff is really on some I'm proud of you, because she did have that big movie premiere coming up. So he's yo, I'm proud of you. You got this weekend coming up. They talking about accessories for her outfit. And then she's so it gets to the weekend, right? It gets to the day that they did that freak off, and she's trying to figure out what her plans are. And he's okay, well, I'm down to do whatever you want to do. Let me know what you got going on. So she's I want to see my baby. And then they start, and now they're having a conversation about the freak off, and he's telling her, since you want to do this, you plan it. Call the guy from the male escort service they were using, and Cowboys or something like that, and get who you want. You set up how this one is going to go. He even said to her in text messages if you want, we could sit back and just watch. We don't have to even participate. And they asked her, but they was okay, so what does that mean? Sit back and just watch. There were also text messages from another so that created a whole different narrative around that, right? But there were also text messages. Remember, she talked about being forced to do it on her period and stuff like that. There was text messages where she mentioned being on her period, and he didn't force her to do anything on her period. He kind of backed off of it. He was okay, bet, cool. The text messages that they showed yesterday in court, that whole force, that coercion thing, it blew that up.
No, I listen, I'm just being objective here, right? Diddy's legal team has already conceded to some aspects of his conduct.
Yes, 100%.
So they're just trying to say, in regards to Cassie, it wasn't coercion, it was consensual.
Yes.
Correct. Now, those text messages go all the way back to 2009.
Yes.
Right? And
then, they even before, they had 2007, I think, is some text.
Okay, so the ones that are from 2017, all Cassie is going to say is that she said whatever needed to be said, because if she didn't comply, he would beat her up or be violent to her. She already admitted that she loved him. Yep. She said she also was afraid of him. That's typical in an abusive relationship.
100%.
It shows that she was involved and that she wasn't being forced. But I think
But what if she was afraid? When she takes this, when next time she takes a stand,
when she texts him to ask about it, I think it's going to show that she wanted to do it just as much as he wanted to do it.
No, but she said she already has contextualized that.
Right.
She contextualized that her first couple of days in court by saying, I did whatever I had to do and said whatever I had to say in order not to get my freaking face beat.
But I think so. Seeing that, and that's what I'm saying, because for instance, there was one text from 2009. That's the one where she says, to correct it. That's the one where she directly says, I'm always down to freak off. And then later she talks about how she wants it to be she wants it dirty, she wants it aggressive, she wants it whatever. So that why they did that, because they're trying to show if he was aggressive at all, she asked for that. But
she was down with it.
Yeah, but I just think that in the text messages leading up to that Intercontinental video, he was so gentle in the conversation. But
she also said she didn't want a woman in that position. She didn't want him with any other woman. She wanted to be the only woman.
Yeah.
But the Cassie thing, I don't think it's going to be as explosive as Dawn and James Cruz, right? And the reason I think Dawn Richard, because they both announced yesterday they're going to be on the witness stand, is there was no that we know of relationship. So this is straight off of. We
might find out why Q was crying in that Vlad TV interview.
You're right. Yeah. And same thing with James Cruz. James Cruz was the manager.
So the James fact Cruz that the prosecution
is calling James Cruz, and the fact that the prosecution is calling Dawn?
Cassie said that James Cruz and D-Rock cried one time when they saw her get beat up. But listen, can it get more explosive than on a nipple? Another man's rubbed on a nipple. You think he will get better than that?
The oil being warmed up?
Yes, because Dawn Richards was there, and there's no love for him. So she's not letting anything back. I'm sure Cassie's still being a little sensitive, but James Cruz and Dawn, those will be explosive.
And also, too, Loren, you said something.
And James Cruz was his ex-manager, by the way.
You said something, right? You said something about, Diddy was being gentle in text messages. That means nothing. Because we saw the hotel video. So you can be gentle in a text message, but then in person.
No. The only reason I brought that up is because we saw the hotel video, but when Cassie talked about the hotel video in court, the way that she framed how the lead up to that was, like even their interaction while she was on stand, it came off as very much like
aggressive.
Oh my God, I'm just here. I don't want to be here. My body is being like used, bruised, and I almost like literally like a sex slave almost. But then you see the conversation, and he's like, we shouldn't do the freak off because you got this big movie premiere. Let's start early so you can get some rest. You gotta take it. Basically, he's trying to look out for her in that situation.
She wanted to do the freak off right before she went to work.
Yeah, but he kept saying that. He was like, "Too bad you got work. Too bad you got work. Right. We should do it early. You should get rest." But her narrative was completely different. Even though we saw that video, it just makes you think like, I'm confused because they also brought in basically what's your motive? Is it vengeance? Because they read another text about Kim Porter. Cassie was upset that she never got to spend holidays with Diddy, and Kim Porter did. And it was apparent that she felt the way about the woman Gina, which is what broke up their relationship. Michael B. Jordan got some strays in here. It was revealed that...
So they had a meeting with Kid Cudi before they blew up a car, allegedly?
Allegedly, they went to dinner with Kid Cudi. Puff sat them both down and wanted to have a conversation about the relationship. They brought that up yesterday because she made it seem like he sat them down because he's big bag Puff trying to scare him. Defense said, no, he sat y'all down because he introduced y'all. He felt the way about that. He put you in the studio with him, and then you go grab a burner phone and start dealing with him. Of course he's gonna sit y'all down.
Did Kid Cudi say in that meeting, well, why you burning my car?
No, the car thing hadn't happened yet. He said, what about my car? Because I think Cassie had kind of warned him, like he said this is gonna happen, and Puff was like, I don't know what you're talking about. What car?
I guarantee you today all the prosecution is gonna say, they're gonna ask Cassie questions, and Cassie's gonna say she told Diddy whatever she needed to tell him because she was afraid.
100%.
That's I guarantee.
100%.
That's she possibly doing.
G-Money didn't want to be down no more. You know what I mean? And when he didn't want to be down no more and started doing his own thing,
but my thing is,
took him to the roof.
Penalized because she was down at one point.
Who's the light skin cute accountant though?
You. The tapes ain't come out yet. We got 8 more weeks, baby. We got 8 more weeks. Okay.
You heard me, Loren?
Huh?
My thing is, will she be penalized because she was down at one point?
That's what Envy is kind of asking too.
At one point,
I asked, and I was told that there's rumors that there was a conversation about immunity with her, but I'm going to try and get some more confirmed information on that because I keep saying that like she was complicit at some point.
Okay.
All right. Well, when we come back, we got Donkey of the Day. 800-585-1051, Charlamagne.
Yes, today is the People's Donkey. So if you want to call in and nominate somebody for Donkey of the Day, the floor is yours.
We'll do that next. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
It's your time to nominate a donkey of your own.
Remember now, it's how they choose.
Call in now. 800-585-1051.
Yes, Donkey of the Day for Friday, May 16th is all about you, the people. It's the people's hee-haw. On Fridays, I like to open the phone lines and allow you, the people, to give folks the biggest hee-haw self. Hello.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, good morning. This is Susan, Ohio.
I didn't hear your name. What did you say your name was?
My name is Antoinette.
Antoinette, who do you want to give the biggest hee-haw to this morning?
I want to give the big hee-haw to my ex for being in jail, locked up. He done missed his son's preschool graduation. He's about to miss his son's kindergarten graduation. But he's locked up again another year.
Damn, what's his name? You got to say his name.
Oh, Will.
Damn. Now listen, is it his fault he locked up?
Oh, it's definitely his fault.
What he was doing?
What he don't do, he do kind of everything. He just can't get right, and it's unfortunate because son needs a father, and he just can't get his life together.
Damn. Well, I hope that he gets out and makes better choices.
Definitely. But I love y'all. Good morning to all y'all.
Love you too.
Love you too, girl.
Right. Good morning. Who's this?
Good morning. Tario. What's up, Charlamagne? What's up, Envy? What's up, Jess?
Good morning.
Peace, Tario. Who you want to get the biggest hee-haw to this morning?
You, Charlamagne.
Okay.
All right, look here, man. All this week, it's been a good week, but you be dogging Laura out, man.
Her name is Loren, not Laura.
Loren.
Loren.
How do I dog her out?
Look, you don't want LL Cool Because every time she do her segment, she can only say half of it. Then you interrupt the whole other half, man. I don't think that's cool because we be into what she's saying, and then you keep interrupting her, and then you keep messing with about her wigs. You a bully, bro.
First of all,
he's a big bully. Thank you, sir.
First of all, I actually complimented on her hair yesterday. I told her that her bob looked good. But then Envy jumped out the window and was like, nah, you killing it. And I was like, don't OD, you wildin'. She's not killing it. She's okay.
Okay.
Now, as far as the interruptions, we're having conversations. I'll be having questions, that's all.
But you got the listeners that want to finish hearing what she's saying.
Okay.
Yes, you got
sure. But
you so worried about my lace, you ain't listening.
That ain't going to change
You
nothing.
so worried about the lace.
You know what I mean? Good morning. Who's this?
What it is, good morning. This is Tammy. How are you?
Tammy. Who you want to get the biggest hee-haw to this morning?
Actually, I want to give it, it's a blanketed. I want to give it to my melanated, unhealed women that keep allowing our melanated brothers, men, fathers, uncles, sons coming into our homes, and you want to treat them like caca.
Treat them like what?
The world is beating y'all up as it is. Treat them like caca. Boo-boo.
Oh, got you.
I'm trying to say the S word.
Got you.
Like the world is beating our melanated men up like crazy, and I'm so tired of hearing them speak their silent tears. Because what I do as a profession, I speak to melanated men daily, and their homes of their melanated women that's in their life is not a safe space. So women, get it together if you are melanated. This world is already beating them down. Cut it out. So it's a blanketed for all of y'all that are unhealed and keep bleeding on men that didn't cut you.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. And I think it goes both ways. I think everybody need to be doing the work on each other so we stop projecting our pain on the other people. That I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Talk that ish this morning. Yes, I'm so sick of hearing it.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mama.
Good morning. Who's this?
Shantae.
Shantae. Who you want to get the biggest hee-haw to this morning?
DJ Envy.
What do you do?
Because the day he announced the car show in Hampton, I went up there to look for the tickets, and there was no tickets up there.
But he probably sold out.
No, they didn't sell out.
It was only $20.
No, ma'am, you could have got them. You didn't have to go to the actual venue to get the tickets. There's like Eventbrite. You could go online and buy them.
That's what I went on. I went on Eventbrite. As soon as your name is out, I went on Eventbrite.
Eventbrite. There ain't no such thing as Eventbrite. If you went on Eventbrite, that's why you ain't got no damn tickets.
You know what she meant.
It's Eventbrite. The tickets we
Eventbrite. I went up there and there was no tickets up there at all.
Mama, there was like thousands of other people that bought tickets that day.
And she said she went up there like it's like a police.
I went to Eventbrite and Eventbrite didn't have it.
Don't inspire me like that. Don't do that.
It's Eventbrite, Mama. Did you get your tickets now?
No, I did not get my tickets.
And how many people want to go? You bringing your kids?
Yes, I'm bringing my kids. It's 4.
4. Wow. All right. So I'm gonna hook you up with a family pack of tickets so you could bring your kids and you can come.
It worked, Shantae. It worked. It worked. Your plan worked. It worked. You finessed him. You finessed him, and he can't take it back now. You finessed him. You got him.
Yes.
You got him. You finessed him so good,
I'm gonna give you a family pack of tickets, and you can bring your kids, all 4 of them, and yourself, and your man or your husband or your partner, and you can come on out, and I got you. Okay.
Thank you.
And you from Virginia? You from the 757?
I'm from Baltimore, but I've been in Virginia since I was 14.
Okay, so I got you. You hold on, and I'll make sure you're good.
Well, y'all better get my Baltimore girl some tickets.
Yeah, we got you.
She went all the way up there to Eventbrite.
Clock that. That's right.
Period.
And that's July 19th in Hampton, Virginia. If you haven't got your tickets, get your tickets. But Shantae, you stay on hold, okay?
Shantae been doing stuff like
all
that.
Right.
Shantae the type of person that'll call a restaurant and be like, Uber didn't bring my food. I ordered this food so long ago and Uber didn't bring it. And they'll be like, I can come up there and get it. And they'll be like, all right, come up here and get it.
Right.
And
she don't even got the app on her phone.
Exactly.
Take information for her line 7.
Good morning.
This DJ from Atlanta. What's up, y'all?
DJ, what's happening, man? Who you want to get the biggest hee-haw to?
Man, I'm giving the biggest hee-haw to you, Envy, Jess Hilarious, Loren, the program. Whoever got something to do with the programming at the Breakfast Club, man. Y'all playing these Kendrick Lamar songs way too much, bro.
Oh, you an OB hoe? You an OB hoe?
No, it ain't got nothing
you an OB hoe? You ain't never called up and complained about Drake playing on the radio every 5 seconds when he was having his run. So let Dot have his run, sir.
You're right about that, but I'm not an OB hoe. But Envy is the whole DJ. It's all this music out here. It's gotta be some other songs.
Nah, bro. Drake been doing this for 10 plus years on the radio. Let Kendrick have his moment and play every 5 seconds on the hour.
He he got his moment, but can we get some other music? We play Kendrick every hour.
Okay, give us some suggestions then.
I don't know.
Exactly.
Go India Irie. I don't know. Somebody.
You said India Irie.
He did.
Anybody but Luther Vandross, Kendrick, SZA, and all of this every hour.
Salute to India Irie, man.
Yeah, he want to hear Luther Vandross right now.
No, he didn't. He said he's talking about the Luther song.
I know that.
All right, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, Eddie, put a play together for us, bro. Come on.
What the hell?
There you go. What the hell? All right, y'all. Be cool. Love the show.
Peace, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, man. We do that every Friday. It's the People's Donkey. Whenever you want to give somebody the biggest hee-haw, all you got to do is call up on Friday, bro.
That's right.
Yes.
All right.
Yo, we got Donkey a lot today. The show.
You probably deserved it.
Well, Eastside Golf is coming up when we come back. 800-585-1051. We have Olajuwon, Ajanaku, and Earl Cooper. They'll be joining us from
it's Olajuwon, Ajanaku.
Okay.
Pretty. What's up? I don't be high all the time.
Eastside Golf when we come back. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got some special guests in the building.
Yes.
We have Olajuwon Ajanaku. Did I say that right? Ajanaku. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And Earl Cooper. Welcome.
How y'all brothers
How
doing?
you
Good.
Olajuwon, I always hear your first name as a last name. I've never met an Olajuwon whose Olajuwon was the first name.
That's because of Hakeem Olajuwon.
Yeah. I was born in Houston. But my family was a big rock. They were both big Rockets fans, and just one thing led to another. First name is last name is not first name.
Got you.
So it's named after Olajuwon.
I was.
Oh, really?
I was.
Okay.
My father, he was born in South Memphis, and he changed his name during the Black Panthers when he was about 24. Changed his name from Robert Rutledge to Kwame Ajanaku, and now I'm Olajuwon Ajanaku. Yeah, they want the slave master name.
Okay. What's your ancestry?
Yeah, 40% Nigerian.
Okay.
But it's a Ghanaian name,
Okay.
Yoruba. But it's a split in between the two. They were just big Houston Rockets fans.
Dope.
Yeah.
And then when I first met Earl, I didn't realize that I'd never met a young Earl before. Yes. All I know is old Earl.
Yeah.
So your name Earl for real?
That's a name you gotta grow into.
Yes, definitely. You ain't grown to it yet. You still look too young for Earl. But
all right, I got a son on the way. He gonna be Earl too.
Oh, what the hell? Okay,
the
that's
world
nice.
needs another Earl.
I mean, DMX made it a classic name.
Yeah, Earl Simmons, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah. You're right about that.
So how did you guys get into golf? What made you say golf is a sport that I want to do, I want to try, I love, and talk about that, your passion for golf?
Yeah, a friend of the family introduced me to the game. I grew up with his sons playing golf. We all ended up getting golf scholarships to college. But the thing was, we ended up playing basketball and golf growing up. So we were really competitive. And it was just on the east side of Atlanta. I mean, it was a way to stay out of the streets, for real, like off Boulder Crest Road, east side. It was tough, but right when I leave the golf course, I mean, the hood is right there. But like when I'm at the golf course, like it was positive influences always at the golf course. I didn't really have that as much at home. But why not go to the golf course and actually get that? So judges, doctors, lawyers, entrepreneurs, these are the people that I'm looking up to. Like, how are these people at 11 a.m. on a Tuesday just out and about doing their own thing? And now it was golf. So I just wanted to be a part of that and have that to be a part of my life. So that's what really just pushed me to it.
Yeah. And you're from Delaware.
Yeah, I'm from Delaware.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know people really was from there.
Yeah.
Until I met Loren.
I told you he was going to do that.
Yeah.
There's only two of us. But two black people. No.
Two black people.
But you play golf too, right?
Yeah. I started playing golf at the age of 6. Inner City Youth Golf Program. It was called the LPGA Urban Youth Golf Program. And my parents just signed me up. Like, nobody in my family played. And I often like to say I'm happy that my dad didn't listen to a 6-year-old, because left up to me, I was like, I don't want to do this. Where are all my friends? Where everybody look like me? But he kept me in it. And then at 13, I ended up winning the Golf Channel Drive, Chip and Putt, which is like a free trip to Disney World. I was on TV, and I'm like, man, if every golf tournament like this, I'm ready to practice. And, was fortunate enough. Olajuwon and I, had a golf scholarship to Morehouse College and played on the golf team there, and that's where we met.
Wow. Break that down for me. You said it was called the Inner City.
It was called the LPGA, which is Ladies Professional Golf Association. So they had a ladies major event in Wilmington. It was called the McDonald Championship, and they created like a non-profit off of that. and it was that urban youth golf program. So again, just trying to get young kids involved in the game, and then for us, I'll say that's what also kind of helped shape our point of view. Like, because everyone's like, well, how did y'all get here? And these programs are great, but you need an evolved adult, right? Like all of you all have kids, so you're not just gonna call it a 10-year-old off at a golf course, right? Where the average age is a 50-year-old white man, right? And then you come back, you're like, what happened, right? So it takes an evolved adult, and that's one of the things that we're always constantly encouraging people, like, go with the kid. You know what I mean? Whatever that may be. So a lot of our focus has been on young professionals, not necessarily just the kids, because we don't even make kids clothes just yet.
I wonder how much Tiger Woods made people feel like...
Influence people?
Yeah, influence people to reach out to young black kids and try to get them involved and go.
I mean, he was, everything for us. Like, coming up, Tiger Woods was, he dominated it. He made us want to watch it. You want to be just like Tiger.
The catalyst for me when I was 13... Actually, I was playing golf at, it's across from East Lake Country Club in Atlanta where they hold the Tour Championship. Y'all definitely got to come out for that. But across from there, Charlie Yates Junior Academy in 2001, I actually got sponsored by Nike to go up to Chicago. I got a 30-minute lesson from Tiger Woods and Earl Woods at the time when his father was still here. So, I mean, ever since then, I just been on it. I've been hungry for the game. I mean, everything that it entitles as far as, like, gives you, and just the people that it surrounds you, that surrounds you because you play it. So, it's done wonders for me.
But what made you all want to stick with it, though, right? Because I know you said when you were 6, you wouldn't want to do it. It's born. That's the first thing that, people argue and they say about it. What made y'all want to stick with it? Y'all actually have a golfing brand, like where people are buying it. Y'all got stores about to open up and airports and everything. Y'all still about to have y'all apparel in Nordstrom or something like that?
Yeah, Nordstrom's right now. Yeah, right here in New York on 57th.
Yeah. What made y'all want to stick with that? You don't really see a lot of us in golf, right?
Yeah.
So
honestly, for me, golf changed my life. I mean, as far as temperament, resilience, everything that I am as far as like just hard work and structure. I mean, because when you look at golf and every shot that you take in golf, it's individual. You know what I'm saying? You can't look at the entire thing as you get lost, but that's just like life. You got to take it one step at a time, a day at a time. And golf just taught me to be really intricate on each single detail. And I literally just relate that over to my professional career as far as corporate finance when I was in that, about to become VP of sales, over to here running a business. There's steps to it and you have to build systems to be successful. And it's crazy. I use all of those things from golf to relay it onto my business, and it's been working.
When do you take the step to be professional as far as a golfer, right? You see all these people, everybody's into golf, and but when is it professional? And break it down a little bit. Like, we all know basketball, we know there's a draft. We all know football, we know there's a draft. We know baseball, you go into the D League or the Farm League, as they call it. So how does golf work when it comes to that? Because you were a professional one time.
So I'm a PGA professional. So PGA professionals are the men and women, and we're experts in the golf business. So at every golf course, there's a person that managed that. And so that's what I did. So you get your PGA certification. It's 28,000 PGA members across the country. Out of that 28,000, there's roughly like 300 African Americans, right? So the number is, that's less than half of 1%, right? So there's definitely a lot of work to be done there, but that's what I'm considered a PGA professional versus Olajuwon. You want to explain it?
Yeah, I mean, the reason that I started this brand was, back after I graduated from Morehouse, major was accounting, minor in finance. I turned pro in golf. I did that for a couple of years, won a couple of mini tour events, but got to a point I just couldn't afford it anymore. Taking up odd jobs, cart boy, caddying, like hustling, however I can get it to fund my golf career. Last time me and my mom got in an argument, she was like, it's about that time you get a job. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to stop that, and I started my finance career. I was in commercial finance for about 10 years, but it got to a point, like I said, I wanted to play professional golf, but I knew it'd be hard to find sponsors. So to your point, the only way to turn pro is to have sponsors in the game.
You got to be good enough where a sponsor finds you.
Absolutely. And it's full circle for me. Actually, I'm turning back pro in golf in June. That's the reason I started the brand, because I was like, if I can't find any sponsors, why not take the entrepreneur route and sponsor myself? So now I have, Southern Company and Georgia Power being one of one of my sponsors for professional golf, along with a couple of other companies in Atlanta. But the whole thing is sponsorship is dollars. If you can raise that and that company can see what they can really get out of you where it comes to like a certain type of customer or a certain type of feel, they'll pay you for it.
All right, we got more with Eastside Golf. When we come back, don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We're still kicking it with Eastside Golf, Olajuwon Ajanaku, and Earl Cooper. Charlamagne?
I love both of y'all. I love y'all stories because y'all represent. I like when people get into an industry and they show all sides of the industry. Because when I hear PGA professional, I'm thinking that's a player.
Right.
That's what I see.
It's somebody who does the business.
Yeah.
And that's like, damn. There's so many different ways for us to be involved in this sport.
Yeah. Sure. No, I completely agree, and I feel like that's one of the things that I'll say really just excites me about our business is the fact that we're having an impact on the sport without actually playing it, right? And so it's kind of like a basketball analogy would be like we working in the front office, right? And so we're getting everyone excited and bringing everyone along with us, right? Like when you think about when the brand started, it was right before COVID. And then, our first viral moment was Chris Paul wearing it head to toe when he was the president of the NBA Players Association the night of the boycott, the event that happened in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And so, like, that's how we kind of went viral, but it was through basketball. And then from there, we got hooked up with Michael Jordan, and we've had, like, CeCe Sabathia, Victor Cruz, Pekka, Steve Stout, like, you name it. All of these guys are, like, we see exactly what you guys are doing, right? Like, you are bringing in people into the game, culturally relevant, and in a way, like, our tagline is, be authentic. So that's all we require.
Let me ask you a question. I can think of times, right? Like when I was younger, me and my now wife walking into, restaurants in South Carolina, seeing nothing but white people in there, nothing but white people working there, and saying to ourselves, yeah, this ain't for us. And I remember one time in particular, we went to one and it was like, oh, no, we leaving. And the waitress was like, what? The woman at the door was like, why y'all leaving? Because it's too many white people? And I was like, yeah. The golf course probably is 10 times as intimidating as that. Just because it's like we don't see each other out there. So if a couple of guys just pull up on the golf course, are they going to be welcomed?
Yeah. So they have private country clubs, and then they have municipalities, as he once said, public parks downtown, which you pay your tax dollars on.
That's what we need to be starting.
Yeah, a lot of those golf courses are definitely welcoming. They know it's your first time coming out there, and on top of that, some of these golf courses have bucket of balls might be $12. And play it against sports.
Cheap for some balls.
Yeah.
Pause.
Play it.
Pause. What's wrong with y'all? Grow up, y'all. Pause. What's y'all problem, y'all? Cheap for some balls.
You gotta relax. No, what is your problem?
All I said was that's cheap for some balls.
Yeah. So some golf balls.
Oh man.
Continue.
Yeah, we got.
It's cheap. Like, continue.
So downtown, bucket of golf balls might be $12, but then you can go to Play It Again Sports and get a whole thing of clubs, 14 clubs for $100, $125. And this is an investment, like whatever, and I see this all the time, whatever you do with your life, I don't care what you do. If you play golf, it will increase that revenue. It will increase whatever opportunities you have.
Why?
So many different types of people play golf. I've met guys that, own movie companies, guys, investors out in Palo Alto. All the way over to being at Liberty National, the fireman family that sold Reebok. All of these different types of people play golf. Doctors, lawyers, these same type of people that I grew up seeing. But the connection that they have in their circle. If you play golf, you can go out, well, let me invite my guy. All of a sudden, you got a foursome, 3-4 guys out there playing golf, and you don't know who it is.
Relax. It's like,
golf, man.
Since the Diddy case is going on right now, people ears are sensitive. You said foursome, everybody trying to figure out.
Wow.
Yes.
Y'all don't have gay ears.
That's good. Yes.
This guy has gay ears. I'm listening to you because I'm intrigued by what you're saying.
I don't have gay. What are you
intrigued about a foursome word?
No, I've heard that before. I've heard everybody say that they golf because it's great for networking.
And sure.
I've golfed once. I was terrible at it. I got frustrated.
Yeah.
But it's a time for men to do something we don't do, which is talk.
Yeah.
For a long period of time. It's good bonding for men, I think.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think
we're on the golf course, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Nah, and it's funny you said men because we actually we're doing a campaign featuring Justin Tuck, just talking about fathers. because a lot of times, again, you're talking about that opportunity to bond, and like it's a great sport, like to just go out there. And a lot of times that's a man's hobby. You know what I mean? But we definitely support the women to get out there as well. And I agree that golf can be intimidating. Like, look, I was the first African-American golf professional at 2 golf courses that were over 100 years old.
Whoa.
So
built in 1899.
Detroit Golf Club and Wilmington Country Club. In Wilmington, I started out as a caddy there, right? So, like, used to dream of going in the clubhouse. Like, man, like, what would that be like? And you know, the point, and I feel like the reason why I took both of those roles was simply because here's an opportunity to reset the standard, right? They don't know. They've never even interacted with someone at that level in that position. And so it's important that we do go and kind of push through that uncomfortableness. And that's kind of what I'm saying, where as an adult, if the adults can go, we know it's just they're gonna look up to you, you know? And so if they see you doing the goal for us, we don't want it to be a shock when we show up or minorities show up and they're playing golf.
Right.
We want that to be normalized, right? But that's up to us to normalize it amongst that generation, just like we normalize everything else. So it could be something as simple as like going to the movies, or every summer y'all go to this place, whatever it may be. It's just normal. You saw it. And so that's the thing. Our goal is that we want this next generation to really say, you know what, I may play golf once or twice a year, and I'm cool with that. But at least when the opportunity comes, we're not sitting on the sideline.
That's what's up.
How can they go to the site if they want more information?
Yeah, find us on eastsidegolf.com. We actually have a TikTok at eastsidegolf, and our Instagram is at eastsidegolf.
Yep, and then go download our app as well. We got a really dope app. We have a lot of exclusive product on there, merch, shoes, everything at Eastside Golf.
Man, respect to y'all brothers and everything that y'all have built, everything that y'all are building. This is very, very inspiring, man.
And now we got to get y'all out on the golf course. That's the next thing.
That's the next.
That's the next thing. Come on, now.
Yeah, she was. In Baltimore holding it down.
You already know.
I feel like God is calling me to learn. I tried it one time, but man, I swung at that ball like 30 times and couldn't hit it, and just like, man, I'm just gonna ride around with y'all and drink.
Well, we got a professional coach right here, so we got you covered.
Yeah, we
just let us know, man.
We can definitely
want to get y'all out there.
But yeah, it's a great like family atmosphere too. Like that's like you.
My son played. I played in college, and I stopped since college. But But it was one of those things. We go out there, we drink, and we have fun, talk, and then come back to go to class. But in Hampton, but my son actually plays, and I was like, I got to get back out there, but just having the time.
Understand. The time is definitely a thing, but it's just so worth it.
And we go to Top Golf, which is like
the
thing.
Top Golf. What is that?
No, that's Top.
Top
Golf. Yeah.
Top Golf.
Yeah. Much success to you.
Ajanaku, Earl. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. It's time for Pass the Alt.
Go. Cause that's my DJ. Say go DJ. Cause that's my DJ. Yeah, DJ, come spin, now come spin.
What up, Nyla?
Good morning.
Nyla Symone, Big Nyla, what's happening?
How are you guys?
Blessed, black, and highly favored.
I love that. Yeah, same here. I'm going to start off, I guess I'm going to start off slow and then speed it up for you guys. Let's start with Get To It from Ian and Nino Pate.
I about to say, if that was y'all generation considered slow, y'all need to stop doing so much
That
drugs.
wasn't actually the slow one.
Oh.
But what do you think?
That's hard. I like it.
Cool little bop.
It's YM music. I wasn't sure if you guys would like that.
It's definitely YM
music.
Okay, cool.
That's cool, though.
The slower record I meant to actually start with is from Planet Giza and it's called Elevator.
I like that.
Yeah.
vibe. Is that Masego on the instruments or no?
Masego, ain't that the stuff people using to get skinny?
No, Masego is an artist. He's a jazz. Well, he's not a jazz artist, but he plays
basically every instrument.
Yes,
and he does a lot of instruments.
Yes,
a lot of instruments for people. But who's that again?
Planet Giza.
I like that.
Yeah,
Planet
that record.
Giza.
Don't start.
What?
Don't start.
That do sound like someplace videotape you, right? You want to take a trip to Planet Giza.
This next record is Bossman D-Lo and Gucci Man with Hit.
Ooh! Hey,
100 in my mouth. Hey, that's a lot.
Yeah. See, that's YN-ON music. You know what I'm saying? Like Gucci going home at 11. Now, Boss Man gonna stay out, but Gucci they gonna kick her from about 7 to 10:30. Gucci probably be out around 11. Though. Yeah, it's good balance. You know what I'm saying?
I knew y'all would like that one. I'm glad.
Video's dope too.
Yes.
And then the last one is Lotto with somebody. She's been teasing this record for a while, but it's finally out.
I like that too. That's dope.
As it went on, I liked it.
Yeah.
Like she was spitting. This different for Lotto. I ain't never heard sound like that.
It is kind of poppy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a nice summer bop for all the female players who are going to be lying to guys, making guys think that, y'all going to be together this summer, but you just really having some fun. That's what that feel like.
I like that.
Okay.
Touche. So if you guys like those records, make sure you guys tune in and listen to them on the certified playlist. You can get it by clicking my link in bio. And I also have it in my story. Just make sure you follow me at Nyla Symone, NYLA SYMONEE.
Also, Nyla, we got to salute Leia. Because we said she was signed, and she said she's not signed. She's
Leia said she's not signed. She's
independent.
I know she's not signed. You said she was signed.
I Googled, and Google said she was signed. Was she signed before, right? And now she's not signed.
She was signed before,
she was signed before.
But then once you said that, I was like, dang, maybe she got re-signed. So then I didn't say anything.
I thought you said not yet. I thought you said not yet last week.
About Leia?
Yeah.
Last I knew, she was not signed.
Gotcha.
She was signed, but she's not anymore. She's independent now.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, she did a whole video on it. Well,
but Leia's been going up, man.
I like
dope.
Love her. Love her so much.
All right.
Yo, what is the name of that Gizzard joint?
Elevator.
Elevator. Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you, Nyla.
Thank you, guys.
Have a great weekend. Be safe.
Okay, you too.
All right, everybody else, the People's Choice Mix is up next. Don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake up. You're locked into the Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got to salute the cast of The Wire for joining us today.
Man, they celebrating 23 years, man. Their Jordan year. Why? I just don't. What can be done with The Wire? Like, I feel like The Wire need to have like a documentary, maybe a reunion.
Yeah, definitely a documentary, yo. But they can't do a spin-off. They can't. I don't want them to mess it up. Like the blueprint was great. Now, remember a couple years later, a show called The Corner had came out, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I felt like they tried to do the same type of thing. It didn't really stick for me, but we've seen that try to be done over and over. It don't come close. So I think a documentary would be the right thing.
I mean, I do think that ship has sailed, but I do think back in the day, Wire spinoffs would have worked if they would have kept like the same writers, the same producers, because they could have created their own world.
Because they were going to different cities.
Yeah, just like the Power Universe Day thing, like. Plenty of those guys could have left, set up shop somewhere else. The ones that lived.
You don't think you could go back to that though? Because so many people are intrigued with the street lifestyle and selling drugs and all that. People love seeing those type of things. Those movies do well. Those shows do well. So you go to another place, like you go to DC, you go to Detroit, you go to New York, you go to a small town somewhere where that we might not know.
Maybe. Like Charlotte said, though, it got to be written right. The dialogue got to be exactly the streets, like exactly what it really is.
Yeah. All right, and also Eastside Golf for joining us this morning.
Man, I am really inspired by what them brothers are doing, just because they're doing something different.
Outside the box,
yeah. They're doing something that you don't really see a lot of us doing, and they're having a lot of success, so salute to those brothers.
All right.
And then one of them is from Delaware, Big Delaware.
There's a Big Delaware?
Same one.
No, I'm saying you can order. I didn't know it come in a big size. I know it is.
Yo, whatever, yo. Shout out to Eastside Golf, Olajuwon, and my man's Earl Cooper.
And also, I want to salute Mimi Brown. And if Mimi's listening, I just want to say I apologize for my friends.
Mimi is right here. Come here, Mimi. You know if Mimi listening, this guy is so crazy.
Mimi,
like, why do you
come here, Mimi?
Like, Mimi sitting right here.
I don't know if Mimi wanted to get to the mic. But
right
Mimi told us today she's from Alaska. And my friends here at the Breakfast Club asked some of the dumbest questions ever. And I just want to say, Mimi, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Just go ask if you really live in the igloo.
I just wanted to know. I wanted to know, did she grow up in the igloo? Like, what part of town is she from? Is she from the east or the west side? She said it's dark all the time. So,
it's normal.
And by the way, don't act like you weren't dumb. NBA was like, it gets dark all the time. And I learned that in middle
it's
school.
Dark in the wintertime all the time. The summertime is light 24 hours. So it's the opposite.
So you go to school at night, when it's dark, and then you come home, it's just dark.
It's just dark.
Damn.
It's just, but in the summertime,
so the light bill got to be crazy.
Well, kinda. The street lights stay on in the wintertime, like the whole time. But in the winter, it's 24/7 summertime, right? So the sun doesn't go down. So that's the
But I asked you what side you was from. You from the south side. Like, where you from?
I don't know if there's we don't really do that. It's just,
East side of the igloo, Nick.
Hold on. Yes, I'm from the slopes.
So where the North Pole and the South Pole at?
I mean, that's
That's Alaska, though,
That's
right?
Alaska.
Yeah, so you can say I'm from the North. I'm from the South Pole.
Yeah,
okay, I'm from the North. I'm from North.
You're from the North Pole.
You ever seen St. Nick up there?
No, we've never seen St. Nick.
So, what do you guys do? You guys sled?
We sled, we ski.
we do all the outdoor activities.
Charlamagne asked us, do black people there? You got black people.
We go hiking. My dad, we went fishing. We did all of that.
Can you see Russia from Alaska for real?
We cannot see Russia. I don't know where Sarah Palin got that from. We cannot see Russia from our balcony. No.
Yo, Charlamagne, dumb too. This nigga said, so when did you come to America?
That was the dumbest question.
When did you come to America?
I meant this America.
Yo, this America? That's that America. What's wrong with you?
He did say that.
Well, Mimi, thank you for Front Page News, and we appreciate you. Definitely go check out her podcast.
Altadena with Love.
That's right.
Altadena with Love. Thank y'all.
And also, we got to send a happy birthday to our friend and one of our producers up here.
Who?
Taylor. Today is Taylor's birthday.
Taylor who?
Taylor May.
Stop playing with my girl.
Taylor, the day of birthday. I thought they were talking about Taylor Swift this whole
Taylor
time.
Made it.
I thought they said it was Janet Jackson. No, you won't, because you hungry as hell. You ain't not going to throw that down your hungry ass. You is not going to waste no food.
Today is Taylor's birthday. She's also having a baby shortly, so congratulations. Enjoy your day. And she just had her first Mother's Day. Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations, Taylor. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
She named her son Jesse.
You got emotional. Why?
What'd you say, Jess?
She named her son Jesse.
You naming your son Jesse?
I'm not. It was.
I'm sorry?
It was in the options, but wasn't. We didn't pick it.
Damn.
Okay. Why'd you get emotional earlier?
No, because I was just thankful, just happy. This new birthday.
She's pregnant.
Aww.
And she's getting closer to birth, and it's about to be a whole vibe. Like, you about to be turned up.
Just think about how you overworked and underpaid. You won't get emotional no more. Well, you will, but not for something else. No.
Well, that's why I have you, Charlotte.
That's right. That's right.
He want us to remain oppressed, no matter what.
Show him your shirt. Show him oppression. Show him what oppression look like.
All right. Well, happy birthday, Taylor.
Listen. Happy birthday, Taylor. And this weekend, if you did not get your tickets for the Atlantic City show, I will be at Harris Casino. Me and my brother, Desi Alexander, calling Philly, New Jersey, New York, even Delaware, if y'all around there somewhere. Get your tickets right now at JessHilariousOfficial.com. It's only 200 tickets left for the show, and they will be sold out by the end of the day. So get your tickets if you have not yet. Next Friday, Mashantucket, Connecticut. So call in Hartford, Bridgeport, Connecticut. I will be at Foxwoods Casino next Friday. The show starts at 8, and then on Saturday I'm skipping over to Boston, Massachusetts, and I'll be at the Wilbur Theater. So get your tickets for all those shows on Ticketmaster or JessHilariousOfficial.com.
Just getting
I'll
money.
see you there this weekend.
Period. Yes, you will.
Girl, you are pregnant. Sit down somewhere.
My goodness. All right. You got a positive note?
Yes, and it comes from Dr. Seuss. I want y'all to read a couple of books this weekend. At least one, all right? Because the more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go. Have a blessed day.
Okay. That was giving a little something.
Dr. Seuss. Okay.
Yes.
Breakfast Club, bitches.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
Jesus.
Hey, it's 7 p.m. Friday.
You're checking out The Breakfast Club.
Pluto TV presents The Black Collective, a curated collection of movies, shows, and more, all for free. Watch films like Paid in Full and Boomerang, series like Tyler Perry's Sisters and Power on virtually any device for free. Pluto TV, stream now, pay never.
The Breakfast Club. Schumann and Hill, New York's injury lawyers. Go to hurtny.com.
That's hurtny.com.
The Positive Note is brought to you by Lincoln Tech. Train for careers in auto, skilled trades, and more at Lincoln Tech.
For Essent Healthcare, women's health is essential for a thriving community. And Essent is here to keep you healthy by providing excellent